It's been a crazy start to the new season, and Leclerc and Ferrari are still grappling with the same old problems from last year. They just can't seem to keep the car running reliably. But hey, at least last season they had the speed advantage over Red Bull and snagged a ton of poles. This time around, however, it seems they've even lost that small advantage, with Red Bull outpacing them at every turn. And if that wasn't enough, even Mercedes has been performing better, despite having to scrap their design concept after just 2 races. Meanwhile, Aston Martin is killing it, taking the best of both worlds from Red Bull and Mercedes and leaving Ferrari in the dust. It's enough to make anyone impatient and annoyed, and that includes the golden boy of Ferrari himself, Charles Leclerc. Rumours are swirling that he might even be considering a move, and let's be real, who could blame him? Eddie Jordan has even weighed in, suggesting a swap deal that no one saw coming. Let's face it folks, when one team starts dominating in Formula 1, it's only a matter of time before the top drivers on the receiving end of endless defeats start getting restless. It's the natural order of things really. These guys are competitive beasts after all, and they can't help but look on in envy as Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez continue to dominate in their Red Bull RB19s. And now that Red Bull is entering its second year of dominance, following a 2021 campaign in which they shared top billing with Mercedes, the driver market is sure to feel the impact. It's a tense and perplexing situation, as the 18 drivers not currently sitting in a Red Bull cockpit wonder what it would take to dethrone the current champs. Will they stay put and wait for their chance, or will they start eyeing other teams for potential moves? Only time will tell folks, but one thing is for sure, the F1 world is in for a wild ride. Now let's talk about Charles Leclerc. The man is a freaking speed demon, there's no denying that. He's arguably the fastest dude in F1 over a single lap, and he's been a force to be reckoned with ever since he joined Ferrari back in 2019 after a killer rookie season with Sauber no less. But here's the thing, despite all his undeniable talent, the guy's only managed to snag 5 measly wins. Now, some haters out there, and you know who you are, like to throw shade at Leclerc by pointing out his poor ratio of pole positions to wins. 18 poles, but only 5 wins. Yikes. They say he's just a fast driver who can't close the deal when it matters most. But hold up folks, let's not forget that Ferrari has been the weak link in the chain more often than not, either mechanically or strategically. Sure, Leclerc has made some mistakes, we're looking at you French Grand Prix, but let's give the dude a break, yeah? So what's next for our boy Wonder? Well, he's contracted to Ferrari until the end of next year, but there's been no word on whether he'll stick around beyond that. You'd think Ferrari would be doing everything in their power to lock him down, but team principal Frédéric Vasseur seems content to kick that can down the road. Frédéric Vasseur compared keeping Charles Leclerc to planning a wedding. Yeah, I know. Stay with me here. He said that if both sides are happy with the situation, they'll continue their relationship. Fair enough, right? But Vasseur made it clear that their priority is pure performance and getting results. In other words, they need to give Leclerc a car that can actually win races if they want to convince him to stay put. But here's the thing, they haven't been doing so hot lately. Leclerc's results so far this season include a disappointing 7th place finish, a retirement, and a 10th place grid penalty. Ouch. And let's not forget about the tyre management issues plaguing their car. So it's no wonder that Leclerc might be looking around for other options. Vasseur knows that Ferrari needs to prove themselves to Leclerc if they want to keep him around. After all, the dude is a hot commodity and he knows his own worth. So while they're not actively trying to tie him down to a new deal, they're also not taking any chances. It's all about performance, baby. The Leclerc and Ferrari partnership has been nothing short of a roller coaster ride. From lost victories to power unit problems, it's been a frustrating journey for the talented driver. Leclerc's lightning fast reflexes and unparalleled sensitivity to grip make him a class act and one of the most respected drivers in the paddock. But with the start of the 2023 season yielding less than stellar results, Leclerc's disappointment is palpable. Now, it's no secret that Mercedes has its eyes set on Leclerc. The team sees George Russell as a future world champion, but it's not afraid to pair 2 top drivers together. Should Hamilton decide to call it quits, Leclerc would undoubtedly be a top contender for the coveted Mercedes seat. And let's be real, Leclerc knows this all too well. With rumours of Hamilton potentially leaving Mercedes at the end of the season, the question on everyone's mind is where the 7-time world champion will end up. While Red Bull has already been ruled out as a possible destination, former F1 team owner turned pundit Eddie Jordan believes that a swap between Hamilton and Leclerc would be a mouth-watering prospect. Jordan is convinced that both Hamilton and Ferrari would benefit greatly from such a move, and while it remains to be seen whether Ferrari would be willing to part ways with their star driver, the idea of Hamilton in Ferrari red is certainly an exciting one. With so much speculation swirling around, only time will tell where Hamilton will end up next season. But one thing is for sure, the F1 world will be watching with bated breath. According to Jordan, a move to Red Bull or McLaren is out of the question for Hamilton. Jordan also speculates on Hamilton's relationship with the team, wondering if he's truly valued there. "That could be a deal made in heaven," said Jordan. "I know Leclerc quite well as a person and he's magnificent, but so is Hamilton, so who's to say it would be any different?" Now, Jordan even goes as far as to claim that Leclerc would be a perfect fit for Mercedes, saying that he's very much a Mercedes type of driver. Of course, these are just the musings of a seasoned paddock veteran and nothing is set in stone. But it's hard not to get caught up in the excitement and speculation of what could be an epic shake-up in the world of F1. It's a tricky situation for any driver eyeing a new team, especially when it comes to Charles Leclerc. The idea of switching to Mercedes is tempting, but it's a sideways move at best given the team's current form. Meanwhile, Red Bull has the car and the potential to be a game changer, but it's also a Max Verstappen fortress, with the Dutchman under contract until 2028, forever in F1 terms. The team is tailored to Verstappen's talent and subscribes to a strict number 1, number 2 model. Even if Red Bull wanted to replace Sergio Perez, it's debatable whether they even consider a driver of Leclerc's caliber. So what's the best option for Leclerc? Ferrari, of course, but there are concerns about whether the team is capable of taking that next step from occasional winner to champion. Leclerc was skeptical of the previous regime under Mattia Binotto, and while he's positive about Fred Vasseur's leadership, rumours of top-level management intervention and political strife within the team continue to loom large. It's a tough decision for Leclerc, and one that he'll need to weigh carefully before making any moves. Ferrari, the team with everything at its disposal to reign supreme in F1, yet always leaving us wondering if they can pull it off. But with the impressive investment in the state-of-the-art facilities and Leclerc at the helm, the potential for dominance is there. Of course, if Leclerc were to lose faith in the team, he'd have no shortage of suitors vying for his services. Teams like Aston Martin are on the rise and ready to challenge for championships, so Leclerc will likely hold off on making any decisions until next year, while working on developing himself both on and off the track. He's not quite as savvy with strategy as his teammate Sainz, and there's still room for improvement in his performance. But as we've seen with Verstappen, patience can be a virtue in F1, and Leclerc's time could be just around the corner. Of course, if Ferrari doesn't deliver on its potential, Leclerc will have some tough decisions to make. Does he stay or does he go? The answer isn't so clear-cut and the stakes are high. But for now, the hope is that Ferrari and Leclerc can fulfill their potential together and dominate the sport once again. Well, what do you think, folks? Let us know in the comment section down below.